What's up, guys? Welcome to the stream. It
Take
is,
two.
take two. It is August 9th, Tuesday night, and we're playing some tournaments on wsop.com. I am your host, three-time World Series of Poker bracelet winner and Las Vegas professional poker player, Dutch Boyd. And below me is the lovely co-host, Michelle Eximois Cosper. How are you doing tonight, Michelle?
I'm doing good. How are you, Dad?
I'm frustrated. I'm already I'm already frustrated. I got a little tech tilt.
I should get a squirt gun.
For
you.
For the last 15 minutes we were streaming, and then I'm looking and it looks fine. Screen. Everything's great. We had pocket aces hold up. We told some of the funniest jokes that
can't remember them.
I'm not going to just not going to be able to repeat them, but trust me, they were really funny. And now they're lost forever. And it's just like, well, what's going on here? We didn't change anything. It says streaming live, but when I look on Twitch, it says it's offline.
Aww.
I'm not sure.
Koala bear.
I'm not sure if this is going to work or not.
And we could be talking to ourselves again.
I could just be like, exactly. I could just be talking to.
It's like the Twilight
talking
Zone.
to myself and talking to Michelle, and it could just be practice.
This is okay. This is all right.
It's okay. But if we're not going to get the stream on, what's the point of even playing these things?
They're fun, Dutch. And it's good practice. So you
Good
can practice on your tilt. Because we know there's somebody in this room that has a lot of tilt. And we're here to work through that tilt with you.
That's really funny.
Here in our community, we are going to help Dutch cope with all the tilt.
It's good practice
It
for
is.
coping with tilt. I like that, Michelle.
Yes. This is your spiritual,
fold
this is
here.
your meditative state. Oh, there we go. That looks like we're on. Look, it says 4 viewers resubscribed while you were away, so it looks like it got...
It's working.
You must have missed a button.
It's happening. No, I didn't miss a button. Everything was fine. I pushed everything right. Wow, look at that. Gosscore with a 4-8 of hearts. Calling Seavarn's pre-flop raise with 4-8 of hearts. And, yeah, just flops the straight. Seavarn's 07 goes ahead and doubles him up. And, yeah, that's...
Sick of crap players.
Seavarn's.
Sick of crap players.
Not too happy with that. Sick of crap players. I'm sick of crap players.
Sick of crap
This is
players.
why poker is beatable, Seavarns. You should never, ever...
Says Dutch.
...ever criticize a player for playing bad. It's what you want them to do. You want the guy calling you with 8
Well,
high,
babe, you shouldn't
8,
criticize him
4.
for criticizing. Isn't that like the bad thing to do is to criticize him as well?
You shouldn't criticize... you shouldn't criticize for criticizing. Oh, my gosh.
Now, breathe in.
Okay, let's go ahead and make
calm down,
the
Dutch.
raise here. You shouldn't criticize for criticizing.
Calm down.
Taking it to another level.
Yeah, you can't like criticize a criticizer, then you're a criticizer. You just gotta keep your mouth shut. What is the I'm saying? Keep your nose clean and no trouble. It's a Lord of the Rings saying. I know someone in chat knows.
No idea.
It's the one where it says, keep your business to yourself and nothing will bother you, or something like that. Wow. It's when they're in the bar at the prancing, not the prancing pony, but the bar in Hobbiton.
So Soulspun making the raise there. And at that point, we're getting like 9-1 to make the call. Decker 711, man, back for another month. He says, Yay. 17 months in a row. Decker, you're awesome. Thank you so much for keeping this stream going and being so such an integral part of the stream, man.
Thanks.
It's really been awesome having you here. Okay, I guess we're calling for the gut shot straight. That's not it. It's not what we're looking for.
Let's see where that is. no trouble will come to you. God. Oh, I'm glad I have a mute button. That's very, very loud.
Okay, let's go ahead and make the fold here.
Keep your nose out of trouble and no trouble will come to you. That's the saying, Dutch, just so you know.
Cowboys full in the stream. Good to see you.
Oh my gosh, I think I just found the whole script.
And
Nice.
WFKS. It's good to see you in the stream, man. I'm pretty sure that if you refresh, we should be going.
What's wrong? You can't see? Oh. You can't see it, babe, if you don't say it in chat, yo. Babe, because it isn't refreshed. Yes.
Yeah. I realized that right after I said it. It's like, I don't know why I'm telling you to refresh.
What is that? Oh no. 15 cents of Bovada. I don't know what's going to happen to you. Run it up, man.
Grinding and Ground says, hey, Dutch, did you watch Somerville's interview debate on Newsday?
Yeah, how long was that debate? Was it a long debate? Because I only got like 3 minutes of it.
Yeah, I mean, if it was longer than 3 minutes, I guess not. It seemed pretty quick to me. And so he was basically talking, giving the counterpoint to a reverend who was talking about how horrible gambling is and how online poker is gambling and it'll cost the state a lot more than they'll be able to generate from taxes, and who's going to be paying for it, and it leads to homelessness and crime and domestic abuse and people losing their homes. And then Jason Somerville is like, well, I got a lot of people who are watching my stream all the time who just want to play a $1 tournament. And
people
the Reverend's like, well, who's going to pay for the the social strife that happens? And then Jason Somerville talks more about how PokerStars.com is the best legal regulated online card room, and people
Everything
should be able to play
legalized.
on PokerStars.com, and it's just like, okay.
Well, I'm looking at it right now. It looks like only 460 people shared it. So let's see if it was on Reddit or anything.
Here's the deal, you guys.
No, they did. Only 39 comments on Reddit. It's voted to 59.
The best argument for legalizing and regulating online poker is never going to be that it's going to lead to revenue for the state. That's a bad argument because it puts the state in the business of gambling. It puts the government in the business of gambling, which is not really what government's role should be.
He should definitely more argue in favor of freedom, because this is America and we should have the right to spend our money the way we want. If I want to buy a whole bunch of cake, I don't need the government telling me that I might get diabetes.
It is a freedom argument. It is a liberty argument, and that's the best argument for online poker. It's not so that we can, protect players from
because if somebody wants to buy
card rooms or whatever,
a gas guzzling SUV, you should be allowed to do that if you want to. If you don't want to buy a Prius, you shouldn't have to.
I don't think that it's a very good argument that players are going to play whether it's legal or not, so let's just go ahead and legalize it and regulate it and tax it.
Yeah.
I don't feel like that's a good argument. The best argument is a liberty argument. That if you want to play poker with your friends or you want to play poker online, you should be able to. Because this is America, damn it.
And there's a song goes, I'm proud to be an American, 'cause at least I know I'm free. Now,
perfect.
That doesn't even, we don't even, how are we free? We can't even do what we really want to do, guys. Freedom.
It's a liberty argument.
That's right. If I want to drink a bunch of soda pop, I don't need the government telling me I can't drink a bunch of soda. Right? Right, Dutch?
Yeah. If you want to smoke 2 packs of cigarettes a day, you should be able to.
Yeah, that's what poker should be. Poker stars should be hiring the same people that do the propaganda for the fast foods and the cigarettes. Because that's exactly what fast food does.
Cigarettes, alcohol.
They say, that's your right to eat that stuff because blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. You guys know the deal. So, but I think it was a good interview, though. I think he did well. I think Jason did well.
I think he did fine.
I think it's very hard to be in front of a person that's very hard. Religious. I don't even know why they even had that person on there. And it didn't sound like the commentators really agreed with that religious person necessarily.
Well, the points that he was making, we're kind of hard to argue against. You really just have to fall back on that liberty argument and say, the Reverend next is going to try to, make fast food illegal. He's going to be making
sex illegal. All the important things, guys: food and sex, and rock and roll. I think if the Reverend had his way, we wouldn't have any rock music, Dutch.
It'd just be like Footloose.
That's right. We'd wouldn't be able to dance.
No dancing.
Gosh, can you imagine?
Dancing leads to
sin.
Dancing leads to sin.
Sexy behavior.
It does. Dancing leads to sin.
It is the forbidden. Yeah. Was there Lambada, right? That was the big forbidden movie. Was it the Lambada, and then there was Dirty Dancing, right? I wasn't allowed to watch the Lambada. Did you watch the Lambada, Dutch?
No, I don't remember that one. I don't think it was that I wasn't allowed to.
Oh, I wasn't allowed to.
I think it was more that I didn't want to.
What? How can you not? You're such a good dancer. I'm really surprised.
Oh, yeah.
I'm really surprised that you don't know how to do the Lambada. Can you imagine if there was a movie about the Macarena? Like, that would be the movie, right? Everybody would be like looking for this cool dance, and then the Macarena comes, and people are at underground clubs doing the Macarena. Yeah. And then the prettiest person would actually come around and be the best Macarena dancer and win the Macarena concert. Yes.
Decker 7-Eleven. I don't know if that's really the right headline there. The headline is Bovada closing. I think it's being acquired, yeah. So it's being rolled into another brand, Ignition Poker.
Don't go to NTC. What's NTC?
I think he is trying to say maybe NYC.
New York City? I don't know that acronym. Poker Mindset Coach, what does that mean?
They banned supersizing.
Well, people still can get free refills nonstop, so I guess. Every time we go to a restaurant, they're always refilling Dutch's soda pop. So I don't really think they banned it. In New York City, that's what they're talking about. That's what he's talking about. Don't go to New York City. You can't buy that stuff. Yeah, the counter to freedom argument is a social cost argument.
And you're right about that.
Are you going to make cigarettes illegal and drinking illegal and going out drinking?
The social cost argument is yes, you should. You should, because no man is an island, and you can say, look, I should be able to smoke 3 packs of Camels a day if I want to. But the fact is, it does affect other people. Maybe you're smoking in an apartment complex with a shared, air system. Maybe you've got kids in the house and they are going to grow up with, COPD.
Well,
it does affect other people. Your actions do affect other people. So it's, I agree with you, Manitou. I feel like both, both sides of the argument have merit. But all I'm saying is that for if you want to argue for legalizing online poker,
you could argue that a lot of everything is bad for you some
then
way or
you
another.
really need to go with the liberty argument. That's the best argument for legalizing and regulating online poker.
I mean, you can argue that the internet's bad for you. Just the internet, just surfing Reddit. But we'll see. I mean, I really hope California gets on the... I mean, it would be very wise of California to embrace online poker, because it would bring up a revenue stream. Look at pot. I mean, pot in Colorado has been hugely successful because people want to do it. People want to smoke it, and they've been hugely successful. And look at how much they fought about it. I mean, what was the argument for cannabis? That it would morally destroy people? What was the argument, Dutch, for cannabis? Do you know?
For criminalizing?
No, like, why would people not want to legalize it? Like, because they think that it's the gateway drug. You're going to be on meth and heroin in the next week if you do pot.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah, I agree with Bruce Cohen, is that the casino industry would do better because people would want to go gamble live for the social interaction. Well, they learn how to play the game, like in a setting where they're comfortable, so they can go out and gamble for reals.
So I'm the rookie, and the vet says, Dutch, I bought a Run Good hoodie today. Who am I supporting exactly? I figured you would be the best to ask. So I'm the rookie and the vet. If we go to Run Good, rungoodgear.com. Let me go ahead and take a look at what they got here. They got some pretty cool shirts, pretty cool hoodies. I click on Shop Now, and there's... Let me go ahead and load it up here.
I think you're supporting Run Good, right?
In particular, who are you supporting? Well, the owner is a guy named Tana Karn. He's got a he's got a little story here. I don't really know what the story is all about here, but they've got some ambassadors here, including our buddy Ryan Tapin, little Chance Corneth over here.
One day, Dutch Boyd. Who knows?
Where are the other ambassadors? There's more.
Oh,
There's more. Yeah, let's go ahead and take a look.
Hey, Dog Mile.
Jordan Morgan, Brian Campanella, Bernard Lee, who we got? Joe Searock, Jamie Kurtzdetter, Retchie. Retchie's a character, man.
Smokers should switch to vapes only. No, I'm just kidding.
Justin Gardenhire, Ryan Tapin, Chris Conrad. All these guys are good guys. Katie Dozier. And they get a little trickle down from that. I'll tell you, I don't think that Tana's really making that much money selling these things. I think the markup on these, the profit margin on hoodies is not that much. But ultimately, I guess that's who is getting the bulk of your money.
Run Good.
Is Tana, the owner of Run Good, but I don't think he's really making that much money off of it. He's just trying more to build a brand, and
they have a whole series and everything.
Yeah.
So, do you think? I mean, it's back to the gambling thing. Don't you feel like, in terms of gambling, like you were gambling when you were little? Like, you've always been a gambler. I mean, when we're little, we're like, you want to bet, like, all the time. I mean, why did we make it such a bad thing in the first place? And why is it such a bad thing? What has made gambling bad?
Why is gambling immoral?
Yeah, immoral. Because it's like when you're a kid.
That's quite the loaded question, but.
But no, I mean, it's like when you're a kid, you're like, you want to. Is it because there's a loser? Is that why it's immoral?
I think a lot of it. I think, honestly, when they have a reverend come out and argue against it, I think a lot of that argument has to do with, biblical morality. And there's some things in the Bible about gambling.
But wasn't Jesus betting that his apostles were going to be his people? I mean, isn't Jesus a gambling man?
I don't think so.
I mean, it kind of is, 'cause he has to be raised, right? In the story of Jesus, he's like raised, like he has to like gamble.
I'm looking at I'm looking at a little website called The Gospel Way.
Oh gosh.
And it's got a lot of it's got a lot of Bible verses which
Hi Hannah
are trying to, they're trying to use to say that
gambling's bad.
Gambling is immoral.
It's the one where he like goes in and he throws the money. Is that when he got mad? When Jesus goes into like I think the church, right? And they're gambling there or something. I don't know. Anyways, but yeah, besides the Bible, I mean, when you were kids, you were always betting. I'm sure you were betting your brother for things. Like, I bet I can hit that bird or squirrel. And then you would throw a rock and miss the squirrel or whatever. Or you would jump, So I think the reason why it's immoral, maybe because there was one guy who just kept on fucking losing, man. He just kept on losing. He's like, you know what? No one deserves to be a loser. I'm going to make this big hype thing and tell everyone that it's wrong to be a loser. Who knows? But cheap heroin, says Manitou, is the consequence of a legalization pot. Well, we should then legalize heroin. Cheers. Look, there's always going to be crazy. I think if you make something illegal, that's how people make a lot of money. Isn't that how it works? Illegal, and then there's a black market, and it makes it more valuable. I don't know, guys. I don't do drugs, but I did smoke cigarettes. I can't imagine cigarettes being illegal, but they did raise the age, I think, requirement to smoking in a state recently. 2 states, I believe.
We've got Carlos Jr. in the stream. Good to see you, man. Yukon Brad chilling out with us. Good to see you, too. I have no idea what to do here. C. Varnes firing out a donk lead of 200 into 3,100. I think that, we can go ahead and make the raise. We're getting 3-1 here. And I'm thinking that we probably have 6 outs twice. Which is, shit, that's about 3-1. It's about 3-1, guys. We might have more, if he's got like 9-8, then we also have the queen. So let's give it a call. It's before the rebuy period. If we lose this 3,000, we'll just hit the rebuy button. Not what we're looking for. But we did have those 6 outs twice. We were looking at 12, 24%. About 3 to 1 is what we needed to get. And we were getting about that. So, gambling a little bit. Usually we're going to miss it. Usually we're going to whiff it. Pinsum says, why talk about Jesus? What for?
Jesus?
Well, Pinsum, we're talking about gambling and the morality of gambling. We're talking about how, why we've got reverends coming up on, news shows saying how gambling is wrong, and then, trying to cite, social cost issues, but that's not why they think it's wrong. That's a reason that they can point to, so that they don't have to say, well, in Timothy
what does the Bible say about gambling? Does it say?
Well, there's a long list of Bible verses that they can, kind of use to apply. I'm gonna make the fold there. I'm the rookie in the vet says, my mom always tells me she would rather me be addicted to poker than drugs, so here I am.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go. Hollywood guy probably hit it on the nose. It's immoral because the churches want your money instead. They want you to buy indulgences. And 10%, they want you to give 10%. So that has a lot to do with it probably too, Dutch. Churches want 10% of your money or X amount of money. That is probably it. Good one, Hollywood. That is very, very wise. I agree with Hollywood. So guys, don't give your money to churches, give them to poker rooms.
I'm going to make the fold here.
I didn't know that. Heroin was legal once, and they sold it to children. Wow, lucky kids.
Okay, I'm going to make the fold here against Goscorp. I'll tell you, Jack Carver, if you want a good book recommendation for PLO, the Jeff Wong books are really good. We got Big Lebowski resubbing to the stream. Thank you very much, man.
Months. Good to see you.
Thank you very much for being here and keeping the channel going. Let me find that Jeff Wong PLO book. We'll go ahead and make the call here with the Jack 4 offsuit, getting 13 to 1 on the call. And let's switch back over to the 2K here, where we're raising with pocket tens, and we just crushed it. We just crushed that flop. So against 3 opponents, man, I think we're going to go ahead and slow play the shit out of this. We're going to slow play it and hope that something like that happens. Handsome Max firing out half pot. I'd love for Kobe Bear to come along for the ride. He doesn't. Let's go ahead and make the call here.
Man.
And then I guess check call the turn. Yeah, I don't know. Jack Carver, talking about the Reverend, what an asshole, he's just an Adelson plant. The think tank is paid for by Sheldon. I'm not as cynical as you are here for the motivations of that guy. I think that guy really is trying to help the world, and in his heart, he believes that California would be better if they kept poker illegal. I feel like I don't feel like his motivations are because he's getting paid by Sheldon.
Yeah, I don't agree with you there. Well, I don't know about Sheldon,
and
but
I don't think Sheldon's motivations are all that off. I think that he doesn't need money. He's got $30 billion. He's 1 foot out of the grave. He's almost dead. I don't think that he's really motivated by just building more money.
Yeah, but Sheldon Adelson isn't really the one to talk about fighting against online poker because he has a casino.
I agree. I think that it's one of the biggest hypocrisies around.
So he obviously has some type of motive. I think that it was because he was rejected for an online license in America, in Nevada,
and he's so just I'll show you guys.
He's bitter about it, and he's like, if I don't have one, no one can have one. That's what I think, and it's a control thing. I don't think it has anything to do with morals. I think
that makes more sense than that he's trying to increase his bottom line for his casinos.
Yeah. I mean, he is. Someone mentioned in chat that he's shrinking shrinking his poker room down. Which is bad because the people that work at that Venetian poker room, they're actually good people, so it sucks for them.
Yeah, they are.
And a lot of people I think it's like one of those things. Adelson probably overlooked the poker room, and then somebody pointed out that he has a nice poker room. He's like, really? And he's like, well, it doesn't make me money, so I'm going to get rid of it. I don't give a hell. I don't care. I don't need that. I don't need that exposure. But, I mean, we don't really know what people's motivations are. I believe that a godly person, I don't necessarily believe that they're doing things for their God. Just because they represent God or a God.
So what do you mean specifically? You're talking about the Reverend on the show. What do you mean specifically about him?
I don't know about him because I don't know him personally, but I think there's people that they represent God or a God because they like the power. Because you have power amongst a lot of people, and I think it's more of a power thing.
Here, let me give you this link, Jack Carver. I'll make the fold here with that.
But we don't know. I mean, the motivations of individuals we don't know, unless we're in their minds.
Anyway, let's change the subject. I don't really care about it. I hope that they legalize it here in California. It could lead to another gold rush. I wasn't really that impressed with Somerville's performance, to tell you the truth. I didn't think that it was really that strong. But I love Somerville.
Well, I'm going to point out that you're very biased because you grew up in a religious family, and I think that religious family part is kind of.
I'm getting kind of irritated. I know. Like talking about it. So let's just change the subject. Young White God says, "Hey Dutch, what is your favorite non-poker book? Fiction genre." That would be Sirens of Titan by Kurt Vonnegut. It's all-time favorite. I love that book. I'm a big Neil Stephenson fan. Diamond Age, Snow Crash. The last fiction book I read. Last fiction book I read was Seven Eves. I feel like I've read one since then, but that's the new one by Stevenson. Big fan base. The Unabomber says, "Hey man, sorry I haven't been here for a while. What do your icons mean? The fish, shark, and bull." So they're not my icons. Those are the wsop.com icons. Shark means a tough player. gonna take a little break, guys. Be right back. Okay, guys, we're back, and we're still in both tournaments. Here we're raising with King 8 offsuit in the cutoff. Against Steve Arns and we're on it. Creepy Siren says how many are paid in this tournament. In this one,
there's 2 tournaments.
Yeah, there's 2 tournaments, and actually, I think that we're probably going to see both of them being paid about the same amount.
One's 10 and one's 15. The 3K.
We're going to go with something a little non-standard 10. Here to Steve Arns' donk lead.
But they're still late red.
And make it 798, so giving us exactly 4,000 behind. Here he fires out 240. And you know what, Steve Arns? I'm so tired of these donk leads. So let's go ahead and make it a half pot size raise. And the 5 of diamonds. Yeah, okay, Steve Arns. Such a shitty river card. 87 is going to fuck us. 10-5 doesn't, though. 10-5 doesn't. $10-5 is just fine for us. Okay, guys, we're going to be back in 4 minutes and 47 seconds. We'll be right back. Hey guys, we are back. We got our 2K going. The 3K is still on break. Got our add-on in the 3K. And yeah, Seavarn's trying that desperation bluff on the end with nothing but that 5. We've got RJM4U chilling out with us. Sometimes he hangs out on the stream. We also have Donk and your mom in the 3K with us.
Nice.
So good to see you, Donk and your mom. Hopefully we both make a deep run tonight. A6 offsuit. And yeah, we'll go and make the raise here. Badminton says it's like when they take a timeout right before the commercial timeout. They meaning basketball teams, which I thought in my head but didn't say because I assume everyone knows what I'm thinking. I like that. That's pretty funny. RJM for you making the 900 raise. We got a little A7 suited action here. I feel like folding is a little too nitty. We could 3-bet, but I don't mind inducing a couple calls here from the blinds too with a hand like A7 suited. And yes, I think that RJM for you's opening range here is wider than big aces and pocket pairs. I think that he could easily have the court cards, and A7 of clubs could be ahead right here too. I mean, I don't really know how far we want to take this. I think it's just going to be a fold, but we could make a little play at him. Poker Joker 2, make it a min raise from under the gun. Make the fold here. Make the fold here. King Jack offsuit could get us in trouble. I think a Poker Joker 2's opening range here under the gun is a little bit tighter than RJM for you's was when he was effectively the hijack. What is the cutoff?
Hey, jack off to me.
Well, wish we would have saw that flop for 800. That's one we'll never get back.
What did you have there?
King Jack.
Oh, it sucks. That would have been a really great.
It would have been great. It would have been awesome. Results-oriented thinking. It's like, oh no, we'll go and save the 800 here when a Poker Joker 2 raises and 4MK2 Ultra calls. King Jack offsuit is not going to really be looking that great. Wasn't looking that bad really against Queen Jack and Ace Queen and 9 rag. Results oriented thinking for the win. Thin blue line in the stream. Good to see you, man. Good to see you. It's been a while.
Oh, it looks like Michael Leah won something.
Is that right?
I think he won another ring.
Mike Leah?
Yeah.
Congrats, Mike Leah.
He just won it, yeah.
And he's part of TournamentPokerEdge.com.
Oh, nice.
And a good guy. CMAC85, I haven't read that one. Haven't read it. hold here.
Oh, you know what we forgot to mention, Dutch?
Good to see you.
We forgot to mention that Rust is in the Humble Bundle because that was in the first.
That's right, guys. Big announcement. The Humble Bundle just got announced today.
A survival bundle.
It's a survival bundle, and my absolute favorite game, Rust, is in that bundle. So for less than $5, you can pick up the Humble Bundle. Your proceeds can go to charity. And you're supporting some good charities, and you can play with.
So, are you really buying those bundles because you're supporting charity, Dutch?
No, I'm collecting video games.
Really?
That's it.
Yeah, but it's a good. They're cheap games. We have a lot of games. I have like 400 games now. I know you have more than me. And we have not played hardly any. We started up Battleborn today. We don't know if we like it yet. We did the whole introduction of that game and kind of...
I'm not sure.
Yeah. Ace 10 Dutch says RJM for you. So I'm thinking you had asked him a question probably about his hand.
No, that's when he raised and we called with the Ace 7 of clubs.
Mm.
Let's go ahead and make a raise here with Queen 10 off. Fire at the same amount, I guess. And let's switch over to the 3K, where we've got this going on. I don't think I'm folding pocket queens here. So let's try to hold. GG. GG. Pocket queens goes down in flames against Poker Addicts Ace King suited, and our $30 tournament is done. Now we've got this one. This is our last chance. Zit. Our last chance, you guys. Ever. This is it. This is going to be the last tournament we play.
So, if you guys are just joining the stream, make sure you push that follow button down here. We have 13,015 now. I think the next goal is, 13,100? I don't know, 14,000.
14,000.
We're going to try to get to 14,000 tonight. Dutch, you have to make this tournament last, because that's what we're doing right now. So if you're new, follow the stream. The button is right here below me. It's the lovely heart. And it's free and it's awesome. And if you're watching on YouTube, make sure you subscribe on YouTube. And if you guys are on Twitch and you want to support the channel, subscribe. You get this awesome spade badge that Bonyfish has in the chat there, as you can see, in JP and JPB16 and Mason Jersier, and even Nightbot has the badge. So if you want to be part of the crew, it's $4.99 a month. You get 2 awesome fist bump patches, a free ebook that Dutch wrote himself, and all the lovely.
It's also like a physical book too, but we're not sending the physical books out as sub perks. You get the digital download link.
But you can get the hard back copy of the book by going to Amazon.
So disappointed with those pocket queens, man. Those big pocket pairs really have been kind of fucking us.
Just walk it off, Dutch. Don't just.
Scoobs
You should
McGee
only play.
Subbing 13 months in a row.
You should only play 9-3.
I guess so.
That's all we should play.
Okay. Default here. ZS Finrel says, speaking of games, No Man's Sky launched today on PlayStation. It didn't launch on the PC yet. It comes out on Thursday for the PC.
Yeah, we watched a review that Boogie did. I really like Boogie. He has a Twitch channel here, and he played a little bit of it. He seemed to like it as far as a survival space game, but it turned us off, unfortunately, because it doesn't have one important mechanic, and that's the multiplayer.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I really lose interest in a game pretty quick if I don't get to play with other people.
Yeah, Rust is a good example of him not losing interest.
Because, yeah, because you're always playing with other people.
Yeah, and it's fun and it's entertaining.
The truth is, if you're just playing a game by yourself, it might as well just be solitaire. It's glorified solitaire, and there's a lot of games that I really enjoy playing.
Even Stardew Valley, which is right now a one-person player game, is making a multiplayer game. So me and my niece are already preparing our farm in our minds to play together. And then we're going to have Dutch tend the cows. He doesn't know it yet, but he's going to be tending the cows.
I put a lot of hours in games like Oblivion, like single player, Fallout 3.
Skyrim, I played a lot of Skyrim.
But the truth is, you compare a game like Skyrim, where you put in a huge chunk of hours, to a game like Warcraft. There's no comparison.
Yeah.
Once you start adding other people into the mix, then it becomes like it takes on a new dimension. It's much deeper.
I mean, there's you don't have to make up dialogue for NPCs because there's real players. Though the non-player characters are pretty cool, but.
Okay, Handsome Max giving us 4-1 to make the call here. 762 is pretty much what we're looking for. Pretty much the flop we're looking for. King's perfect. So let's go ahead and make the check again. And hope that Handsome Max goes for a little delayed C-bet. Take a stab at it, Max. Okay, so he does take a stab at it. And you know what? We're going to go ahead and make the call and fire out on the river. Maybe Max will put us on a busted flush draw and give us a real hero call here.
What do you have here?
We have 2 pair.
Oh,
King
2
6.
pairs. Good. King 6 is good. That's good. All right. Oh, he doesn't call, though. But back to the multiplayer games. Oh, then I gotta...
Badminton says, what gets my goat? You know what really gets my goat, Dutch? You play a slow chip game. You're not like many constant all-in shovers on Twitch. No judgment, by the way. When you do shove and you're ahead, it hurts even more when you don't hold. Yeah. Oh, man.
So, yeah. You're supposed to win that hand, some of those hands, Dutch.
Bony Fish, let's visualize. He says, I can picture you on that green felt, Dutch, tonight in this tourney. Can you picture it too?
Oh, the final table?
I was picturing it in the 30, man. I was picturing it in the 3K where it's a little bit more significant.
But we have a lot more here to go. Let's see. There's 58 players left.
We're right in dab in the middle, 32 out of 58.
Top. Do you have the player? What is it called? The score or the results?
Payouts are a little bit lower tonight. 901 for first. You know, it's lower tonight than it was last night or the night before. It's too bad.
Right? The Last of Us I heard was really good too. But I think it's on PlayStation 4.
Badman says, I'm less likely to play a game if I have to play with other humans. They always ruin things. You know, I'm not trying to dog single player games. I mean, there is definitely the same way that I like to watch a movie or like to read a book. It's the same thing. It's experiencing a story. It sure is a big time commitment, though, and it just I just prefer multiplayer games.
Oh, and do you remember Age of Mythology was really good. Rise of Nations, really good multiplayer. Civ, good multiplayer.
I can think of so many multiplayer games that I just never even bothered with a single player campaign. I think Civ 5 has a single player campaign.
I played StarCraft 2's campaign, and it's actually pretty good though. I'm a diehard Blizzard fan though.
Okay, so No Tilt here has a question.
Okay.
If I'm only playing on a bankroll of $900 online, what kind of MTTs should I be entering? I've been playing some 30s and some 20s or 15s, like 2 a night. I started with 300 and was playing bigger buy-ins, got up to 1400, then went on a bit of a downswing, so now I'm at 900. So, no tilt here. It's a good question, and it's a tough question for me to answer. I actually wrote a pretty long article about bankroll management that I'd encourage you to read. I'm going to link it right there. But I would say, yeah, with a $900 bankroll, a $30 tournament is extending yourself a little bit too thin. I think that even the $15 tournaments is probably too big for a $900 roll. I mean, if you're really intent on staying in action, 60 tournament entries is spreading yourself too thin. I think that you should probably be looking at, and it's going to depend a lot on how many players are in these tournaments. You know, if it's smaller entries, you know, like the wsop.com fields where we only have 144 people in this tournament. And this is a $10 tournament, but not really. It's a rebuy and add-on, so average buy-in is probably $40 in this thing. So this is like a $35, $40 tournament. I think that to play this tournament, he got 144 people in. I think on average, if you wanted to be really conservative, 200 buy-ins is really what you'd be looking at. $8,000 roll to be playing these things. A little less conservative would be like 100 buy-ins and treating it as a 30, so 3,000. If you had less than $3,000, probably not really good bankroll management. If the goal is to keep your bankroll, and if you lose it, you're completely out of action. But read that article I wrote for All In Magazine, because it talks about a couple of important concepts in bankroll management. One, bankroll management isn't some sort of cure to turn a negative player into a positive player. If you're losing, it doesn't matter how much of a bankroll you have, and your bankroll management really, proper bankroll management, it really is dependent on the spots that you can find yourself in. The bigger your edge, the higher your EV, the lower of a bankroll you need. But also really important is something I call BOSA, your best alternative to staying in action. And what you have to ask yourself is what happens to you if you lose this $900 roll of yours? Does it mean that you never get to play poker again, or does it mean that you just put a couple more $100 into the site, or into the roll from a job that's paying pretty well? Bankroll management is just kind of one of those terms that are kind of tossed around. And there's some ways to figure out, like, what it all comes down to is like risk of ruin, right? So when people are talking about bankroll management, what they're saying is, how big or small can I play to reduce my risk of ruin to a manageable level? And it doesn't really make a lot of sense because first off, risk of ruin is never going to be down to zero. You're never going to get to the point where, okay, I've got 10,000 buy-ins, so I'll never go broke. That's not really how it's going to work. Risk of ruin is always going to be there. So what's an acceptable risk of ruin for you? Is it 2%? Is it 5%? Is it 10%? Is it 40%? If you're like, okay, well, 60% of the time I'm going to be able to turn this 900 into 9,000, but 40% of the time I'm going to go broke. Is that acceptable? Probably. For most of us it is. But what happens if you do go broke? That's one of the biggest questions that really affect this equation, what a manageable ROR is, risk of ruin is. Because if you go broke and it means that you're going to lose your house and lose your mortgage and be out of action and lose your family and have to go work at your parents' furniture store, and move back into a mobile home, then maybe your risk of ruin shouldn't be 10% or 20% or 5%. Maybe it should be down as close to zero as you can get it. If your best alternative to staying in action, if you go broke, all it means is now I take 2 weeks off of poker, do a couple more surgeries, like our doctor buddy here in the stream, or work on the hedge fund a little bit and put another $1,000 in next week when I get paid. Well, that's not that bad. So you really have to figure out what an acceptable risk of ruin is for you. And there's some calculators out there that you can find. There's some formulas that you can plug in some numbers. All those formulas though really have some loaded assumptions there. One of the things that's going to assume is that you can really quantify what your expected value is in a tournament. That's really hard to do. Different tournaments are going to have different variance numbers. Certain tournaments are going to be much more swingy. Look at some of these lottery tournaments that you see on PokerStars with 20,000 people in it. Your expectation is really high when you're up against 20,000 people. Look at the Colossus, for example. 23,000 entries. I mean, what do I think my expected value in that tournament is? It's a $500 tournament. I would think that my expected value is probably triple digits. We're probably looking at an expected value of 160, 170% in that thing. But what are the chances of actually realizing a positive result? Well, not really that great. Maybe our in the money percentage is 18%, and when it is, it's usually a min cash. So anyway, check out that bankroll management article, and but that's the long answer. The short answer is no. You shouldn't be playing the $30 tournaments with a $900 roll. That's the short answer. The long answer is blah blah blah. The short answer is no $30 tournaments. $10 tournaments, no rebuys and add-ons, just $10 tournaments. If it's going to be a rebuy and add-on tournament, it's not a $10 tournament. It's a $30 tournament.
So Bonyfish wants to know what my shirt says. It says duck and cover. So we were at the post office today, and this was very fitting. Can you see my shirt? It's duck and cover. It's a cool little stop. It's
a dinosaur. It's a dinosaur shirt.
The big boom, the big doom boom is coming. So they're waiting for the end of the world, the dinosaurs.
I remember that year, Magic Man, when Ron Jeremy played the WSOP main event.
Did he play last year?
That was the year that poker really jumped the shark, 2006.
And that is the year, and that's the year that I was dancing at the AVN Awards that year, because I think that was the year that Pirates won Best Picture, and I remember that.
Okay.
Yeah, I've never seen that movie, though. Have you seen it? Have you seen it, Dutch?
No Tilt here says, thank you, Dutch, for the in-depth answer and the link. I will check it out. I just don't think it is worth my time to sit and play $1 MTTs. I'd rather take the bigger risk, even though my current job doesn't pay very well. I want to take my shots. No Tilt here. I completely understand what you're saying, and that's why, the best alternative to staying in action, that Bossa concept, is so important. Because, the Doug Poke Challenge is a great example of this. Here he is playing 1 cent, 2 cent, no limit, because he's trying to prove a point. He's trying to exercise good bankroll management. Does he have a risk of ruin? Yeah, he does. He has a very real risk of ruin, even though he's playing, cash games with, where he has 50 buy-ins. 50 buy-ins isn't enough to get your risk of ruin down to 0. The chances of Doug Polk actually going broke in this challenge is, probably in the single digits, 2, 3, 4%, maybe as much as 5%, just because of the swingy variance that is poker. But, how much is your time worth? When you're playing, $1 MTTs, and your expected value is, we'll say, 40% of the buy-in, so you're making 40 cents, and in expected return, and you spread that out over an average of maybe 3 hours per tournament, so you're looking at a 15-cent tournament. The electricity that you're using to power your computer to play that is costing you more than you get for it, and a lot of free rolls are like that. I guess it kind of gets down to what your objective is with playing poker. A lot of people just enjoy playing, for the sake of the game. A lot of other players are maybe playing because they want to prove a point to themselves or to a Twitch audience, or to a significant other. Other people are trying to play in a way that they're going to subsidize income, or maybe even move to poker as a professional endeavor. I feel you, though. Playing dollar MTTs, I'll tell you, a $1 MTT is definitely within proper bankroll management for a $900 roll. $3 tournaments, $10 tournaments, probably about right there. And how much are you actually making there? If you're a plus EV player, hourly rate is probably going to be less than you'd make at a minimum wage job. And so it goes with poker. Even when you're trying to do it professionally, I think most professional poker players out there would be able to make more money per hour doing something else. And it kind of reminds me of an old joke. What's the difference between a large pepperoni pizza and a professional poker player?
What, Dutch?
A large pepperoni pizza can feed a family of 4.
That's a funny joke. I always think it's not going to be funny. That's actually pretty funny.
Make the fold here.
Hardy har har. It's good. You should always have that laugh track. I like it. It's always cold in here. Oh, my shirt. Ha 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 ha. Yeah, Dutch has it freezing in here at all times. I don't know why. Oh, because it's really hot outside, like 113 degrees all the time.
Okay, so we got JP free, open limping. We got 33 stack him, isolating the open limp. JP free is going to get the bony fish for the open limp here. And here we are with King 10 suited. On the button. Thinking about putting in a 7th of our stack here. Pretty tempting.
There are 50 people left.
JP Free decided King 10 suited was worth seeing it. How'd that get all in? I looked away for 1 second. Did JP Free just get that all in pre-flop? Is that what just happened? Decided to make the shove there. Okay. Open limped under the gun with King 10 suited and then shoved. And someone raised him.
Are you on the table with Randy Savage? Is that... It's Randy Savage. Speaking of wrestlers, during the convention that we were at, the Super Toy Comic Con, that's what they call it, Super Toy Comic Con, there was a wrestling ring in the convention, in the arena. And it was quite the sight. Did you think that any of those guys got hurt, Dutch? Did they look like it was painful?
Yeah.
They had two funny characters that were dressed like Mormons. It was hilarious.
It's very offensive to me.
They were all dressed in like their Mormon outfits, and they were like going around trying to like convert. It was really weird because it was weird because it reminded me of the rust that you and Jay Longo did when Jay Longo was purifying everybody with his torch. So it was really interesting. But anyways, we'll have to go see a WWE wrestling match just for the entertainment purposes, because it's pretty entertaining. And that's when I told Dutch about my experience at WWF or WWE with my dad. He took and I remember one match against the Mountie, and the Mountie is Canadian. Everybody hated him because he was Canadian. And that was like my first experience with like a foreign, like a Canadian entity. So I thought Canadians were like awful.
Did you
I thought they were like the worst people ever. And we were like 10 or 12 or something, like 10, 11. And, I mean, like hate throughout the stadiums when the Mountie came out.
Oh my god!
Like hate, like wow, this is a villain. Canadians are villains, but you know, as I grew, yeah, it was pretty. Yeah, I remember like thinking that Canadian people were like horrible people because of that. But I know better now. After watching South Park.
Seems like a pretty good flop for us. Let's go for 4,800 actually. We'll go for a little bit more here. Sizzle says, Dodge, do you think the autofish label for open limping is too exploitable? I mean, so what you're saying is that maybe someone would open limp until they got the bony fish, so that
it's like a badge of honor, Dutch.
I would underestimate them. Is that the idea there, Sizzle? That yeah, we're gonna make the call here against T. Wright. I hate making the call, but here we go. Wow. So we're really bad shape against T. Wright. Really bad shape against T. Wright's pocket aces here.
Ugh, that was gross.
I was thinking, okay, if he's got queens, then we're supposed to call. If he's got jacks, then we're definitely supposed to beat him into the pot. If he's got a smaller pocket pair, then king queen is looking pretty good. If he's got ace jack or ace 10, then we're all right. If he's got ace king or ace queen, I'm not loving my hand. But the only two hands that he could have where we're really screwed are aces and kings. And there it was. Okay, let's go and make the fold here too. Okay, I fold.
Bum 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 bum. What does that acronym mean? Bum 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 bum. Okay. And the rookie says, I watched WrestleMania in California. Best experience. Hey, it's fun. I like it. It's fun. It has past its prime, but it's fun. It's just funny. Every morning, my dad would be watching freaking wrestling, and every Monday night, Raw, we would be watching wrestling. So, takes me back.
Yeah, I never really watched it.
Yes, it was definitely a staple in my home.
Which I think is kind of cute. Thinking about
when we lived in Washington,
very young Michelle.
Oh yeah, my brother going like this, going like my brother going like this. Yeah, Jesus, on the couch when I'm sitting there. Jesus.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Little 8-year-old Michelle watching WWF with her dad. I think it's kind of cute. I think it's kind of a cute image.
Hey, when we lived in Washington, we did spend time with my dad watching that guy. The guy with the beard?
Yeah.
Yeah, we watched it.
It was
entertaining.
It
of
was
course,
fun.
it's
we
fake,
go over
but it's
there
fun.
and what was that?
We don't remember the names of them.
Who knows?
The ones that I remember are The Undertaker. What else? Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Something. Hulk Hogan, obviously. Randy Savage. Yeah, that was like the prime in the 90s, dude. Oh, Andre the Giant. Yeah, that was good. Oh, wow. Archie Kabuto's mom was there. Nice. Andre the Giant was awesome. But what was the new guy? What's his name? He was at Comic-Con. He was at the convention we were at.
The Magic Man 3 says, Dutch, do you think people can be early position limpers and still very good, strong players? Sure. I saw Ryan LaPlante open limp at the Win Classic main event with pocket twos under the gun. Yeah, and he's a strong player. Wow, what do we do here? You know what? We're going to go for it. I've got some notes on Rebel 85 that says he opens pretty light. Pretty light. So Queen Jack suited. As strange as it sounds, I think that we actually have some fold equity here. If he calls, which he should call most of the time, but I think that there's a bigger chance than you guys think that he actually is going to make the fold here. And if he calls, I think that Queen Jack suited is going to be okay. Well, now we're fucked. Now we're fucked with 3-3 stack and getting it in. Well, not really. We're doing just fine. We're doing okay. We need to hit a not that. We need to hit a not that. And pocket threes just dodged everything.
Damn.
We were actually ahead of the opener with the Queen Jack suited versus the pocket threes, and I'm kind of surprised that he called after 3-3 stack and made the reshove there. I mean, it's one thing to call one stack that's shoving. It's a whole other thing to call a second stack that's reshoving after not really investing anything into it, because pocket threes is never really going to be ahead of anything. Just had to dodge a lot of overcards, and he did. So good for you, Rebel. Somewhere in the world, someone's getting what they want. Good for you, Rebel, for getting what you want. We're out of this tournament. Yeah. Guys, it has been awesome having you here. Thank you so much for joining us. We got to talk about bankroll management and wrestling. We got to talk about the porn version of Pirates of the Caribbean. Got to talk about Jason Somerville
Jake the
taking
Snake.
on the
It's
Reverend
awesome.
In the debate for online poker legalization in California. We got to see some of our favorite people here in the stream. And
wasn't there a guy named
hope to see all of you tomorrow.
Dr. Love or something? Oh, sorry, I was reminiscing. The cream of the crop rises to the top.
You guys are awesome.
Yeah,
okay,
sorry, Dutch, that sucks, dude.
It's all right. You know what?
Short stream, guys, tonight. Dutch, are you going to play some Hearthstone?
That's what we should probably do. Every time we get a busted out of a tournament, we should play the laugh track. It's like, oh, we can make it. We can hit it. Hit it. No.
You should play some Hearthstone.
Yeah, I don't really feel like playing anything.
Okay, this is like my routine every night, guys. I try to get him to play.
It's true.
Oh, look, our wrestling talk and your
Dirt AI. Welcome to the crew. Just subscribed to the stream. Just when I thought that things were going really piss poor. Just when I thought that I would never stream again, someone subscribes and reminds us why we're here. Thank you very much for keeping the stream going, keeping it alive. We're going to go ahead and send over that welcome email to you, Dirt AI. That's going to include a download link to my book, Poker Tilt, and a link to Google Forms where we're going to send out some fist bump patches. That's what went wrong tonight. I didn't have those fist bump patches on.
That's right, Dutch.
Those fist bump patches are super lucky. You pop them, they're guaranteed to bring the Twitch run good. I personally guarantee that while you're wearing a fist bump patch, you will never have aces cracked. All of your kings will hold up. All of your coin flips will come your way, and you'll just win and win and win. That was the problem. We didn't have our lucky fist bump patch.
See.
Hope to see you guys tomorrow, where we're going to be streaming the same tournaments. The 2K and the 3K starting off at about 7 o'clock, and make sure to check out that Humble Bundle if you feel like playing a little Rust with me and some of the other guys here on the stream. We'll see you later. Thanks for joining us. Make sure to click on that follow button.